All right, what a treat this morning. We're at the village of Oak Creek area in beautiful Sedona, right here, right on the Oak Creek. And we're going to do lesson number 43 this morning from A Course in Miracles. God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. Perception is not an attribute of God. His is the realm of knowledge, yet He has created the Holy Spirit as the mediator between perception and knowledge. Without this link with God, perception would have replaced knowledge forever in your mind. With this link with God, perception will become so changed and purified that it will lead to knowledge. That is its function as the Holy Spirit sees it. Therefore, that is its function in truth. In God, you cannot see. Perception has no function in God and does not exist. Yet in salvation, which is the undoing of what never was, perception has a mighty purpose. Made by the Son of God for an unholy purpose, it must become the means for the restoration of His holiness to His awareness. Perception has no meaning, yet does the Holy Spirit give it a meaning very close to God's? Healed perception becomes the means by which the Son of God forgives His brother and thus forgives Himself. Woo! That's a good one. You cannot see apart from God because you cannot be apart from God. Whatever you do in Him, because whatever you think with His mind. If vision is real, and it is real to the extent to which it shares the Holy Spirit's purpose, then you cannot see apart from God. 3 5-minute practice periods are required today, one as early and one as late as possible in the day. The third may be undertaken at the most convenient and suitable time that circumstances and readiness permit. At the beginning of these practice periods, repeat the idea for today to yourself with eyes open. Then glance around you for a short time, applying this idea specifically to what you see. 4 or 5 subjects for this phase of the practice period are sufficient. You might say, for example, God is my source. I cannot see this desk apart from Him. God is my source. I cannot see that picture apart from Him. For me, it might be, God is my source. I cannot see this dog apart from Him. Or, I cannot see this river apart from Him. Although this part of the exercise should be relatively short, be sure that you select the subjects for this phase of practice indiscriminately without self-directed inclusion or exclusion. Turning the page. For the second and longer phase, close your eyes, repeat today's idea again, and then let whatever relevant thoughts occur to you add to the idea in your own personal way. Thoughts such as, I see through the eyes of forgiveness. I see the world as blessed. The world can show me myself. I see my own thoughts, which are like God's. So this morning I was thinking of some replacement ideas there, although those are all beautiful ideas. You could bring it home to the town that you live in. So for instance, even though I'm in beautiful Sedona right now, I live in New Jersey. So I could say, I see New Jersey as blessed. I just retired from the Army, so I could say, I see the U.S. Army as blessed. Whatever thought drops in that's relevant into your life, pressing into your mind, maybe troubling you or even making you extremely happy, add that in. You don't have to use these examples here, okay? Any thought related more or less directly to today's idea is suitable. The thoughts need not bear any obvious relationship to the idea, but they should not be in opposition to it. If you find your mind wandering, if you begin to be aware of thoughts which are clearly out of accord with today's idea, or if you seem to be unable to think of anything, open your eyes and repeat the first phase of the exercise period, and then attempt the second phase again. Do not allow any protracted period to occur in which you become preoccupied with irrelevant thoughts. Return to the first phase of the exercises as often as necessary to prevent this. In applying today's idea in the shorter practice periods, the form may vary according to the circumstances and situations in which you find yourself during the day. When you are with someone else, for example, try to remember telling him silently, "God is my source. I cannot see you apart from him." That's really a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. Prayer for a person who has no idea that you're doing it. This form is equally applicable to strangers as it is to those you think you are closer to. In fact, try not to make distinctions of this kind at all. Today's idea should also be applied throughout the day to various situations and events that may occur, particularly to those which seem to distress you in any way. For this purpose, apply the idea in this form. God is my source. I cannot see this apart from him. If no particular subject presents itself to your awareness at the time, merely repeat the idea in its original form. Try today not to allow any long periods of time to slip by without remembering today's idea and thus remembering your function. All right, so Jesus is giving us some really great suggestions on how to remember this, which is also going to deepen your meditation practice if you're new to this. So you just maybe write it down, put a reminder on your phone, whatever you have to do, but this keeps love and healing your mind at the forefront of your thought instead of the rat race and the material world consciousness that most of us are kind of stuck in at most of our day. So there you go for some good, wonderful Course in Miracles lesson in your mind. So now let's go over to A Year of Forgiveness and see what Jesus has to say in this book. Lesson 43, God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. It is important for you to see that God is your source. It is the miraculous, benevolent, life-giving energy and power of your vital life force. You are not a random occurrence in the universe. You are designed and specifically created by that which you call God. Now you have come down into separation and you have forgotten who and what you are and why you are here. That is why you are doing these lessons, to remind you of your sanctity and the unique place you hold in the mind of God. You are not more special than anyone else, but as a unique manifestation of the mind of God, it is important for you to remember that you have particular qualities that will become more evident as you remove untrue ideas and confusions from your mind. Many of you struggle with this. You wonder about your purpose. You wish you could have a better job or some inspired career to fulfill your purpose. These things become more apparent as you clean up the detritus and garbage from your mind. That is something logical to think about. If you have too many untrue ideas, contamination in the mind, you won't clearly receive the guidance you need to make decisions. This is why so many of you have confused lives, unhealthy bodies, or distorted and dysfunctional relationships. You have too many things in your mind that confuse you because they are not true, yet you act as if they are true. You think you are a body, and you think you will die when your body dies. This is not true. You are not a body, you enliven the body. You are the creator of the body in the sense that it cannot exist without you. You do not need it. However, and this will become more comfortable belief and idea for as long as you go through these lessons and practice them as you have been guided. You are a beautiful idea in the mind of God. You have always been and you always will be. The body comes and goes. It is not who you are. Do not think it is. In my earthly incarnation, I went to the cross to prove I was not the body I went to the cross to prove I was not the body that people thought I was. I reached the point in my evolution where I knew this, and I had no contaminating ideas in my mind that caused me suffering, disconnected me from my Father, or caused me fear. I went through that experience to demonstrate my ability to overcome the physical, material world, and that is what we are working toward. Everything I did, you too can do as you evolve, clarify, and walk closer to love. I am that one that you know as Jesus. We do not expect you to believe this wholeheartedly, but we will tell you to remind yourself that you are indeed the same as me. Beautiful. I am merely your older brother who has walked further and much longer on the road toward love. I call you to come with me. I call you to walk with me on that road, for that road has no suffering. I am that one you know as Jesus. We'll see you again tomorrow. I was making some mistakes there because my arm is like getting fatigued, but so beautiful. What a blessing to be here and to do this with you. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm gonna finish my morning walk with this awesome doggy, and I hope you have a beautiful day today and you remember to do your lesson and you use whatever wording or phrasing or situations or people that you need to do to make this relevant to you so it feels more valuable, because it certainly is. And oh, by the way, as you're doing these lessons, even if it feels like it's not totally connecting with you, you are sending a message out to the universe and alerting all of your guides and teachers, your higher self, whoever it is that you resonate with. Maybe you're more into ascended masters or archangels or whatever, but you are showing them that you're putting forth this effort consistently to heal your mind, to purify all of your untrue thoughts, and to really find more love in your life. So do that for yourself. All right, have a great day. Love you all. Bye.